If I'm buying a house in 2026, I want to take it now. This $25,000 is tax-free. Yeah. Take it now.
Homes are very expensive now, but I still want to buy one, right? Am I doing the right thing? First-time home buyers gets lots of advantages. When you buy that first apartment, that doesn't, you are missing out on those things. Is that correct? Now, this is for the people who are actually preparing to buy a house. What would be your advice as a CPA to what to look out for and how to prepare if they are filing for taxes next year and preparing also mentally and gearing up for buying a property?
So look, again,
first-time home buyer.
Even for a first-time home buyer, it doesn't really matter, right? So at the end of the day, right, when you meet with your person who you're talking to, you say, okay, you got to be able to say, hey, listen, I obviously want to push my income up, right? I got one piece, right?
Absolutely.
Then I don't want to pay a ton of taxes and be stuck with the loan, right? And look, as I always bring, you guys don't want to do these amendments. I always say this to you guys.
Yeah.
But at the same time, this is going to be where you can say, okay, if I do this, I get this benefit, right? If I do that, I get this benefit, plus I can go for my mortgage, as I was one with the depreciation, right?
Correct.
Same thing with medallion owners, right? Most people know this, you get amortization as well. So again, meeting with the right person is going to help you. So I would do this. I would talk to the person who's doing your loan, have that person also talk with the person who's doing your taxes, right? And then you know how to work together.
Right.
You don't want to be like, oh, I already filed it. Oh, you already filed it. What am I going to do? You're stuck.
Right. So that's preparing for the next year's taxes.
Correct.
If you're a home buyer or hoping to buy a
or even if
property.
you're a refinancer, right? Because you got to requalify for a mortgage.
Correct. Now, what should you do now?
Now it's like, okay, if I'm going to take this commission check, right? Am I getting it in 2026 or 2025, right? If I'm buying a house in 2026, I want to take it now. Okay? Because I'm going to want my income to be pushed up, right?
Absolutely.
I want to be able to qualify. And as I spoke to you guys before about commissions, overtime, right? This $25,000 is tax-free. Yeah. Take it now.
Okay, that's income. But there are pitfalls that people fall for it or make mistakes and then they run through amendment. You just few minutes ago, you just said IRS don't like amendments. Banks don't like amendments, right?
No.
So the pitfalls and the common mistakes people make.
That's why I tell everybody, try to get as much income in this year, right? If you're going to buy in 2026, and you want to get the income in 2025, because that's what they go on, right? But you also want to file an extension immediately. Why?
Okay.
It gives you that time frame, right? You don't have to run and find a house, right? You can go all the way through to October, and you have time.
All right, good. Now, that means what you're saying to me that if you plan early, and now is the right time and the best time you just mentioned, right? You save yourself from lots of trouble, you save money, and also avoid bank and IRS problems?
Yes, of course, because you can't just go and say, oh, I already did my taxes, oh, I need more income. Well, you're done. It's filed. What do? That's why I tell everyone, file an extension.
Okay.
And we did over 400 extensions this year. Just
400 extensions?
Just for this type of reason.
Just for this type of reason. I want to buy a property, I already filed a tax, I made some mistakes.
You didn't file taxes, we filed an extension, so you didn't make that mistake.
Oh, so you didn't file the amendment. Or you did not do the amendment. You just said, hey, don't file your taxes. We'll do the amendments.
We'll do the extensions.
Right, extensions. Sorry.
Not amendments. We did extensions, right? So that gave you from January 1st, right, all the way to October 15th to find a house. Right? And guess what? If you didn't find a house or you decided to wait the following year, we just filed.
Yeah.
And we gave you the best tax return we could.
How's the housing market situation, by the way?
I mean, it's pretty decent. It's not going up. It's not going down, but it's a little bit, it's real buyers. Let's put it that way. There's a lot more real buyers.
So you have more real buyers as opposed to people who are just looking around.
Correct.
And there are actual buy and sells happening right now.
Correct.
So some people are saying, just word out on the street, that homes are very expensive now, but I still want to buy one, right? Am I doing the right thing?
So when I used to talk about the need, I want a house, but I don't need a house, right? That's really what it is. It comes down to it.
If you could
it's all about your job security. You're not trying to compete with your friends, right? It comes down to do my kids need bigger place to live? We're crammed on this little stuff, which would be in this house, right? That's what it comes down to. And then you got to decide, hey, do you want a one family or do you want a two family? Look, if it's your first time house, and you're kind of like, I don't know if I want a one or two, my suggestion is go for that two. Why? Because the next house, you can explain that you want to go to a one family.
Right.
And you can keep that two family as investment property.
I want to just bring this up to you. First-time buyers sometimes say, oh, you know what, I just want to buy an apartment, I should be just fine. I don't want to buy a property because it has lots of taxes and then I have to take the garbage out. But I'm just listening to that person. I'm saying, in my mind, that you're missing out on a big opportunity. Taxes you have to pay regardless. You buy an apartment or you buy a house. Garbage, you do it your house anyway. You have to just organize yourself.
You gotta take
but
the
you're
trash,
also
you always
missing
take the
out.
trash out anyways.
Right, and you're missing out on one thing, which is first-time home buyers gets lots of advantages. When you buy that first apartment, that doesn't. You are missing out on those things. Is that correct? When you're getting the second property.
What I'm saying, yes, you're right. You get some advantages of it, but the most important advantage is, hey, when I want to go actually buy that real single-family house, I can keep the two-family because I can say the reason I'm moving to a single-family house is because we want to be in a single-family house. But I can't go and say I live in a single-family house and I want to buy two-family. No mortgage company is going to accept that.
Right.
Right?
And that's the pitfall.
And why am I telling you this is so important? Because you still can do the 3.5% and 5% down on the next one.
And that was, I want you to explain this to our viewers so that they understand. Sometimes, because I've been hearing this a lot lately, okay, because of the affordability issues, maybe they don't want to take more than they can chew, that kind of thing. But I want you to explain that to the viewers.
When you go buy a house and you go to the mortgage company, right? It's either a primary residence, secondary, or it's an investment property. If it's an investment property, right, that's your second investment property, that'll be a 20% down, right? But if you're a primary, you can do the 3.5%, you can do the 5%. So why am I telling you guys to do the two-family first? Because I can put 5% down on the two-family, 3 or 4 years down, whatever I have money, I can do another 5% down on the next single family. And guess what? I still have that investment property, that original house I bought. That two-family is now my investment property. And I only put 5% down. That's a win.
That 5% will not be available when you are getting a second home.
No.
And that's what I was trying to actually get your attention to.
Correct, because you're buying it as your primary. They will understand, I don't want to live in a two-family, right?
Correct.
I want to live in a one-family. But you can't say, I won't live in a one-family. I really want to live in a two-family. Nobody's going to believe you.
And the reason I'm asking you, you are not only CPA, you also have real estate. You are dealing with this every day, and you're dealing with Bangladeshi community more than anybody else. And for this reason, a lot of people actually listen to you, and it's like, okay, what is Michael is saying? Can you break it down in a layman's term? And that's why I asked you the same question 3 different ways. That when you're buying the first house, don't buy something that you're going to lose out on the second property because the 5% down payment will not be available for you as a second-time home buyer.
Because look, you have to prove because look, I could buy a two-family house, say on the same street, I can move to a one-family, right? But there's no way you can say that to go the opposite way.
So if you buy the first one, two-family house, you can get a second one, single-family house. That's not a bigger issue, not a big issue.
It's a very explainable
It's a logical issue.
Yeah, correct.
Right, and then the first one becomes your maybe investment property or whatever, right?
Exactly.
And then the bank is going to let it slide because they say, okay,
so now
income is
for
coming.
10% down, I have 2 houses.
I want you to emphasize on this one, and this, I'm sure a lot of people will contact you soon.
Let's do the first.
I'm moving away from the taxes, but I'm going to come back to the taxes.
All right, let's look at it this way, right? If I buy a two-family and I buy a one-family, right? That's my second, right? I put 5% down on the two-family. I still put 5% down on the one-family. That's 10%. If I flipped it and I bought that one-family, right, and I'm putting 5% down, well, on the two-family I want to buy next, I would have to put 20% down, so that's 25%.
Right.
Right?
That's correct.
So it's a no-brainer. You want to do 5 and 5.
5 and 5.
Right? So it's 10%. Yeah. I take 10% of my money, but guess what? I own double the real estate.
Right. And that your real asset. By the way, real estate is real asset. It's not money sitting in your bank, which is depreciating at a faster pace nowadays, especially because the dollar value is losing, right? We're losing dollar's value. But when you buy real estate, it's appreciating your values.
Correct.
In real asset.
Correct, but I'm putting instead of putting 10% down, I double the real estate, so double the appreciation.
Instead of this 25%, and make believe you're buying 2 houses, each cost $1 million. Let's say 25% of $2 million is going to be what? Like $500,000 or $500,000. But you can actually make $100,000 invest and get both of them. That's what he's saying.
নিউ ইয়র্ক থেকে সম্প্রচারিত TBN 24 টেলিভিশন বিশ্বজুড়ে বাঙালির কণ্ঠস্বর।